Hello everyone and welcome back to Copsply. In this video I'm going to be giving you a broken down overview of Prism AIO. So jumping straight into it, we're going to begin at the dashboard page just to show you how the program actually looks like. We have the Prism logo in the top left, the current version in the bottom left, and this is what the dashboard page looks like. We have a home icon here, it says the dashboard. It shows the checkouts, the dollars spent and the failures across the individual day we're on, the week, the month and the year, and you can go ahead and activate the cumulative option if you wish to do that, and then it will be represented in this graph over here. Then we have the weekly release calendar. You can go ahead and select days and the releases go ahead and appear that are happening on that day. And then we have the recent checkout section, which is broken down into the image of the item, the actual item, the checkout information and the order number for the item. Moving to the top right, we have the shortcuts button, and this shows you a bunch of shortcuts up here. So we have control and comment to toggle pop-ups, control 1 to 9 to select the group, and a bunch of O's if you wish to utilize that within Prism. Then we have the quick task option, which is going to go ahead and interact with the monitors with Prism. You can go ahead and change the URL in here. You can select the profile, the proxy list. We don't have any made at the moment, but we will create one in this video. You can select a profile group if you wish to do that as well, and then you can go ahead and set up your sizes. You can have a group of sizes, or you can go ahead and customize the custom size over here if the item you're going for has a custom size. So I'm going to go ahead and move past task groups and actually create a billing profile first, because we're going to need that for the tasks. So it shows your current amount of profiles created. So you can hit this button to create a profile. You can import profiles by hitting this button and export profiles using this button. We'll go ahead and open up a file directory, so you can go ahead and export everything out or import anything depending on what you're doing. You can search for your profiles over here. You can select a group of profiles and you can actually create a group as well. So let's go ahead and create a profile here. We have the general option, the shipping and the billing. Obviously you can go ahead and activate this option where it says same as shipping, so whatever you enter in your shipping section would be the same as the billing section and vice versa. Let's go ahead and configure it. I'm going to call this a video test, just like so. I'm going to go ahead and enter some information here. This is pretty basic, so I'm not going to walk through this. It's also worth mentioning that you can actually configure this profile to be used one time if you wish, but I'm going to turn that off for this profile. Let's move over to the shipping section. I'm going to go ahead and hit the create button here. I've had the same as shipping option open, so it's gone ahead and successfully created my profile. I'm going to hit the X button, and then we actually see our profile here. The profile counter has gone to 1. The profile name is there. The abbreviated first and my last name is there. The first line of my address is there, and the last 4 numbers of my card is there as well. We have this button to go ahead and update the profile, and once we've done, we can go ahead and hit the update button, and that will update the changes. We can duplicate our profile by hitting this button. As you guys can see, it creates a copy, and then we have the trash can button like I just showed you to go ahead and delete the profile. You can also create a group if you wish to do that. You can go ahead and create a group by essentially just typing in the name here. I'm not going to do that, but you guys can use that if you wish. Now moving over to the proxy list section, this is where we can go ahead and create a proxy list so we can use it with our tasks. So let's go ahead and create one here. So we have the select proxy list option. Once we go ahead and actually create a proxy list, it has the loaded proxies within that list. You can configure a name and also add the proxies. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to call this video test proxies. Then button my proxies. I blurred it out for this video, but you can clearly tell that there are proxies there. I'm going to hit the create button, and that will go ahead and move the proxies over to this side and go ahead and create the list video test proxies. Now that we have the proxies loaded, we can go ahead and test the proxies, but we have to select a site first. So we have a bunch of options here, all their supported sites. So let's go ahead and select the site here. I'm going to hit Stone Island UK because these are UK DC proxies. I'm going to hit the test button, and we'll go ahead and individually test all the proxies and return the speeds here. As you guys can see, I can delete all the proxies within this proxy list, and I can individually delete the proxies by hitting this button over here on each individual proxy. So before we go ahead and head back to the task page, let's head to the settings page here and break down everything here. Then we will finally move over to the task page to end off this overview. So in the general section, we have the webhook, we have a Discord webhook and a Slack webhook. If you wish to utilize that, you can go ahead and save it and test it if you wish. You can also send test failure. You can also send failures if you wish to configure that as well, or obviously just stick to success sounds. You can send failure notifications if you wish as well by toggling this. You can configure the checkout sound, which is a pretty unique feature. You can go ahead and import this, and a file directory will pop up, and then you can go ahead and configure the MP3 file, and then you can play on success. Obviously configure that how you wish. Your third-party integrations, which once again is another unique feature. You can incorporate the Hue or Nanoleaf. Those are 2 separate companies from Prism that incorporate a lot of LED lights. If you wish to check that out, you can. and you can import your app data or export it if you wish. Moving over to site options, you can select a site as your default and you can go ahead and configure the global defaults as well, such as your profile, your sizes, the proxy list, the shipping rates. You can change it to a profile group, or once again you can go ahead and customize the sizing here as well, like we were shown in the quick task section. Then moving over to size groups, you can go ahead and create a size group individually. So let's say you're going for a Jordan release, you go ahead and name this Jordan release like so, and you always know that you always want some sizes of the release and not all of them. You can go ahead and configure that, so when you're going for these releases it's a lot more easier to set up and it saves some time. Moving on to shipping rates, it is segregated into name, rates and dates. You hit the create button, you can go ahead and input everything here and it will go ahead and appear here for you to use with your tasks. Moving over to accounts, you can go ahead and add accounts to be used with certain tasks. If I wanted to add an account for Fear of God, for example, hit the create button, go ahead and put everything in here and then it will appear over here. Then for harvesters, you can manage our capture harvesters here, and we actually do need to create one for this video because I want to show you how task works. So let's go ahead and create one. So you hit the create button and then you can go ahead and configure the type of harvesters. We have the type, your Shopify checkout, Shopify login, offspring, supreme. I'm going to hit supreme for this example because that's the task I'm going to be creating. You can import harvester proxy if you wish. You can right click it to open Google, open harvester, clear harvester, close harvester and delete it. Then you can hit this button which will go ahead and open up the harvester, and this button will prompt you to go ahead. And this button will prompt you to go ahead and log into your Google account, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do now. So let me just grab an email and a password here for the purpose of this video. I'm going to go ahead and log in, and as you guys can see I'm on YouTube now and I can go ahead and watch YouTube videos to generate activity on my account, but I'm not going to do that. And if you hit this button, it will go ahead and update the harvester as well. Moving over to the task group section, let's go ahead and create a task group here. So when I hit this button, it's going to prompt us to go ahead and create a task group. So I've actually changed my mind. We're not going to go ahead and do Supreme in this video. We're going to go do a Stone Island example here. So I'm going to type in Stone Island video test like so, and then I'm going to go to the group site and type in Stone Island UK. Once again, this works with any type of site. I'm just doing Stone Island for this video, and then you can go ahead and configure a custom site if you wish to do that, but I'm going to stick to the default site. I'm going to hit the create button and it's going ahead and create the task group. So we have the task group name, the actual site, then we have the title, the price, sizes, monitor information, site password, proxy list and delay. Then we have the statistics for the group. We have the scheduling if you wish to do that as well. These are all details we can configure for this task group. So for the purpose of this video, I've gone ahead and singled out I am on their website. I'm going to grab the link here, go ahead and put the link in the monitor inputs, and it's changed to a product URL. The site does not have a password. I want to use the proxy list video test proxies, which is what I created in this video, and I can configure the delay if I wish. I'm not going to touch it. Then we can hit this button to go ahead and actually create the task. We're going to hit profile, we're going to hit the video test profile. I'm going to keep the delay the same. The proxy list, I want video test proxies. For the size, I just put a random size here. For the modes, I'm going to hit fast. For the account, we don't want to dedicate an account for this, and we don't want to use a shipping rate as we haven't added any. Let's hit create one task. Let's go ahead and create the task here. So the task is currently idling. It shows the profile, the sizes, the proxy list and the status. I can go ahead and start it. I can edit the task and also delete it as well. So I can go ahead and start the task case initializing, submitting custom information, adding to cart, going through a range of statuses. This shouldn't work because this is test information, but as you guys can see, the picture pops up there and everything goes through completely fine. That's going to go ahead and conclude the overview of Prism AI at Copsploy.